Grigorapulu, Narrow, Rapp, and Pollard for the visitors from Santa Clara. Smith, Watkins, Marshall, Iriefin, and TVO, Talia Van Alhoffen, along with, of course, JuJu Watkins, who takes the first shot of the game. That one goes back heel. Rebound, Kennedy Smith. Van Alhoffen looking down low for Marshall. Marshall going up strong and getting the bucket.
One thing I saw early there, starting off with a pick play, trying to get Watkins open for three. That's something that's very dangerous that we're going to have to look out for later in this game.
It's a nice little dream shake there from Hannah Rapp, unable to finish, and here's JuJu the other way. Watkins averaging 21 points per on this young season. A nice hezzy there and getting right to the cup. The blow by, a thing of beauty.
Looked a little too easy there. Just went past and swiper, no swiping, avoided all the steal attempts there.
Nice hedge there by Marshall. Latu with it. Now there's Pollard, number 5. Gets it over to Rapp. Rapp right back to Pollard. One of our players to watch here this afternoon. Pollard being guarded by Watkins. Nice backdoor, but Marshall the eliminator. The eraser. Rhea Marshall doing what she does.
That's her third block this season. She says no thank you, as we were able to see the point there from JuJu on the other side of the court.
Inbound pass to Rapp. The hezzy by Narrow, and that one's sent to the Trojan bench by Marshall.
Marshall getting into this one early. So we're able to see no thank you again.
Santa Clara didn't want any. They wanted to tap out of that possession. They ran down to the other end of the floor. 1 second left, however, on the shot clock, so they'll have it. Catch and shoot opportunity here. Pollard catches, fires short. Rebound right into the lap of Marshall. Here comes Watkins, speed dribble in the front court. Iriefin with the post up, double comes immediately, throws it into traffic and a turnover. So you see the collapsing defense there by the Broncos.
I was just about to say that. They probably knew that Iriefin would go onto Pollard, so they have a double team strategy if any passes go into the post.
Kaya Ingram in there for the first time today. Wearing uniform number 20. Losing the handle there is Narrow. Smith, 2-on-2, takes it herself, can't finish. The leaner, out of bounds, and last touch Santa Clara. Four to nothing early going here. 8 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Watkins. Van Olhoffen. The triple is good. Coming off her best offensive performance as a Trojan the other night. She had 13 points and hits the triple here. 7 straight to start this one for USC.
Yeah, the Oregon State transfer, she's going to be a key to this team down the road. She just needs to find her stride getting into it.
Pollard misses her second attempt of this afternoon. Here's Smith in transition. Marshall the trailer, the ball fake, right down Broadway, high off the glass, no. Pollard the board. Marshall tried to steal it away, but deflected it out of bounds, and it'll be Santa Clara basketball.
So we're able to see the three-pointer from Von Olhoffen. Absolutely drained it. Money from outside.
Santa Clara coming off a 67-61 win at Fresno State. Trailed by 5 with 2:53 left, but ended the game with an 11-0 run as Ingram gets the bucket there, the grad transfer from Cornell. And Santa Clara gets its first scratch. Watkins maneuvering, the push shot too short. Out of bounds, this is going to go off the Broncos, so SC will retain the possession.
See the aggressive nature, trying to get those rebounds, something that USC is so good as such a top-tier program. Rebounds are everything. Those second chance points, especially those offensive rebounds, which they've done great these past 3 games at getting those to get more opportunities.
And another turnover on the inbound here. Here's Rapp coming the other way. Nice job of getting back by SC. Pollard. Back out to Ingram. Ingram going to set up the offense here. Working against Smith, one of the tenacious young defenders in this country, and a turnover here by Santa Clara. Watkins, the stutter step. Iriafin the trailer. That won't go. Marshall up high for the board and gets the putback.
Marshall playing a huge factor in this game already. Swatted 2 shots, and then obviously you're able to see lays that one in with the contact as well.
4 points, 3 boards, 2 blocks in the early going here for Marshall. Here's Pollard. Working against Smith now. Uses the right hand that time. Crafty move inside by the lefty Pollard. The Melbourne, Australian native getting her first scratch. Iriafin baseline J is true. First bucket for Kiki Iriafin. Grigoropoulos. The handoff narrow. One of the leaders of this group, just a sophomore, but a point guard for Santa Clara. Ingram runs into traffic there, and we're going to have a foul. Foul going to be charged to Rhea Marshall. Looked like Marshall got the worst of that.
You saw a switch there with Von Olhoffen playing on Pollard. That might have been a matchup they wanted to attack if you are Santa Clara. Let's see if they go with it here.
You saw that right-hand bucket there by Pollard on the replay. Narrow, the kick out to Rapp. Rapp putting it on the deck in the teeth of the defense. Iriafin gets her hands on it. Right back out to Santa Clara. Just 5 to shoot. Ingram got to do something, got to move. The grad transfer from Cornell heaves a 3 and good. So it was 7 straight to start this game for USC, but Santa Clara now within 4 here. Under 5 left first quarter. TVO in and out on the 3. Here's Nero, the sophomore captain for Santa Clara. Picked up by Heckel, who's into the game for the first time. Goodchild. Elbow extended, knocks down the jumper. And Lindsey Gottlieb wants a timeout.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
From the line in this young season. Goodchild will have a seat. Rapp back in for Santa Clara, the transfer from St. Mary's, as the foul shot is up and good by Heckel. Heckel averaging 15 points per game in her last 2. Has really become a spark off the bench for this Women of Troy squad here in the early going. Now we see some full court pressure, and this is where SC can be dangerous.
Yes, they absolutely were. That's how they got so many turnovers in the last game, or forced turnovers, I should say. And the clock is ticking for the scoreless streak for Santa Clara. It's well over 2 minutes at this point.
Latu picked up by Iriafin on a switch. The smaller guard in deep, and she dragged that pivot foot. Traveling violation, USC basketball.
This is where USC can absolutely kill you if you're their opponent. When they get on a run, it's just demoralizing to be on the other side of it, seeing that score slowly get away.
Heckel, Smith, Howell, Watkins, and Iriafin on the floor for SC. Watkins flashes right to the low block, bucket and the foul.
See, JuJu Watkins in low in the post, just a late help call. And she just had too much time, and a player like that is going to get points like that.
JuJu Watkins averaging 21 points on this young season, shooting at 77% from the line. And a nice answer here from SC as Santa Clara got to within 2. With that foul shot, it's now a 9-0 run for the Women of Troy. And a turnover here in the backcourt. You see Kennedy Smith once again. Her pressure is just relentless.
Absolutely, it is. That full court pressure is so hard, especially Santa Clara might not have seen something like it yet this season, and it's just devastating.
Iriafin flashes to the elbow, puts it on the deck, right down Broadway, left hand good. 11 straight for USC. And they stay in that press. And a trap here in the backcourt, not where you want to be if you're Santa Clara. Latu falling and call for the travel.
It's starting to get away from Santa Clara as you're able to see the Iriafen left-handed lay.
It's the defense, Andrew.
That's what exactly I talked about, how many points they had off those turnovers last game. 63 for Santa Clara. You can't let that. That's why the CSUN game was such a blowout, just a wide open game.
43 turnovers forced by SC. 20 alone in that first quarter. That last turnover was the 6th for Santa Clara today. Here's Smith left open for 3, and she's fouled on the 3. So Smith going to get to the free throw line. And she's going to get 3 of them things.
She's 3 for 4 from the line so far this year. Will likely get a few points here.
No, they're going to say this is on the ground. Wow. Smith surprised. She walks over to inbound it. So she inbounds it to K9. Watkins catches on the wing. Samuels flashing high. Watkins takes the 3. Iriafen chases it down in the corner, throws it right off the knee there of Grigoropoulos. And it'll remain USC basketball.
Smart play, didn't really have anything and was kind of fading toward that baseline, getting out of bounds and just throwing it off of Grigoropoulos, was able to get the possession back.
Smith inbounds it to Iriafen. 22-9 our score. Samuels back heel. Tried to chase her on, going to be a jump ball. And possession arrow favors Santa Clara. 65 seconds left in this first quarter.
See the aggressive nature of USC trying to get all those balls. Offensive rebounds, I think, as well, is something this team has done a great job of so far.
Santa Clara has missed 7 of its 11 field goal attempts in this first quarter. There's the back door, the reverse layup, good. Nice find there by Goodchild.
That was the first points they've scored in almost 4 minutes.
Heckel, catch and shoot 3. And rebound taken by Ingram. 10 seconds separate the shot clock from the game clock. Maybe a 2-for-1 situation here. Santa Clara hurries. Looks like they're going to take their time. Defense being chanted by the kids here inside Galen Center, and another turnover. 7th of this quarter for Santa Clara. Iriafen in the front court. Finds Watkins. Lets it fly. JuJu for 3.
That's the second time I've seen her pump fake and then decide to pull it, seeing if they're not going to pressure her, she's just going to shoot it, and she will score.
First triple of the afternoon. JuJu now with 8 here in the quarter. Shot clock dark. 4 seconds left. Here's the bounce pass. Wrap. Baseline J to beat the buzzer is good.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
That was so good in the first quarter.
I'd be interested to hear if Floyd kind of talked through that full court press, because they got through it well there.
Goodchild, another one. Goodchild now her second triple of this half. She's got 8 to lead Santa Clara.
Santa Clara on a little bit of a run here. 8-1 in the past 3 minutes.
Smith can't answer. Watkins the offensive rebound. The kick out to Heckel. Tries to attack the baseline. Cut off there by Nero. Cross court over to Watkins. Deep 3. Lets it fly. JuJu spins off. Heckel in there for the offensive board. And it's going to be a tie-up. Possession arrow favors Santa Clara. So Pollard, after a short rest, going to return to the game for Santa Clara. Trojans have done a good job on her. She's missed 5 of her 6 field goal attempts. Just 4 points, 2 boards here in this first half. She averages 26 points per game entering this contest.
She has a turnover as well, but what I think is key is she's 0 for 2 from 3. If you can stop her from there, you're going to stop a lot of damage.
Here's Goodchild. Averages just 2 points per game, but she's got 8 already here in this first half. Curtis now near half court. Around the Goodchild screen. Curtis has it stripped on her way up by Smith. And it'll be Santa Clara ball with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Curtis will exit the game. Irina Korolenko, grad transfer from Seattle, seldom used into the game for the first time. Just 2 on the shot clock. The prayer not answered, and it'll be USC basketball.
Not sure what the design play there was. I think it was just Pollard trying to toss it back and see if they could get a 3, but either way, I think a pick for Pollard to get her above and get her on the 3-point line, or Goodchild as well, who's been launching them from behind the arc today. Either of those would have been great options.
Watkins, foul line, good.
That one looked a little too easy. Definitely need to tighten up the defense, especially if you're in tight from there and against JuJu Watkins.
She's in double figures now with 10. 9-point lead for USC. Here's Goodchild. She's been the hero of this first half for Santa Clara, but going to get called for an offensive foul there on the illegal screen. That's really a point of emphasis. Officials over the last couple of years not really allowing you to use your body there after a handoff. So Goodchild will have to leave the game. That's her second personal. So Pollard and Goodchild each with 2 personal fouls here for Santa Clara.
Foul trouble is not what you want to get into if you're the Broncos. It's already a tough enough matchup with SC. If you get down 2 of your best players, that's going to hurt as well.
Nice seal there by Iriafin, but Pollard came over. Looked like she got a piece of that. Santa Clara trying to knife into this 9-point deficit. We're under 3 minutes left here in this first half. Pollard, no-look pass in the corner. Wrap, no. Rebound right into the lap of Iriafin. Watkins looking to push. Head up, finds Marshall. What a find there by Watkins.
Marshall from one side of the court all the way to the other. You could see how much she wanted it and just got wide open, and JuJu, you know she was going to find her.
8 points now for Marshall. Nearly a travel. Ball's on the deck. JuJu gets it in the backcourt. The layup, good.
And Watkins and Iriafin back in deep.
After those last couple of buckets, SC back over 40% shooting there, 42%, 41% for Santa Clara. Only 2 minutes left here before halftime. Rapp turning in the corner. Layup short there, and here's Iriafin with the board. Watkins, transition 3. JuJu. Now 1 point away from 1,000. That was point number 999 there from Watkins. As we're knocking on more history for the sensational sophomore. Pollard curling and firing from 3.
Obviously,
best look she's had all night.
Obviously point 999, but she already has 15 into this game, and we haven't even gotten to halftime yet.
Smith sets her feet for 3. And Rapp there for the board. Under a minute to play here in this second quarter. Michael Floyd barking out instructions. His team trying to execute what the head coach wants. Here's Pollard, good idea. Crossover in traffic, pulls up elbow. Wild shot out of bounds. And they say that ball was not touched by SC, so it'll be Trojan basketball.
I was talking about getting her more involved off of those plays, especially a wheel all the way from the corner to the top of the arc and then down driving in. I think the shot was a little off balance. That's why it was so tough, but gave it a good try nonetheless.
Pollard 7 points, 2 of 8 from the field. She's had to work in this half. A lot of attention to number 5 in black from the woman of Troy. Watkins, 999 career points, looking for 1,000. Here is Marshall, nice pass to Iriafin, cutting to the cup. And giving up her body there is a wrap. We're going to get called for the foul nonetheless.
See stationary just in the wrong place and the wrong time. Iriafin coming in and knocking her down.
So Iriafin will get back to the foul line. Kiki Iriafin, 1 of 2 from the stripe today. 67% foul shooter on the season and misses the first one there. Homecoming for the Harvard Westlake product as she comes here to USC after graduating from Stanford in 3 years. Shot clock dark. 13-point lead for the women of Troy. Narrow being hounded by Samuels. Pesky defender from the Pacific Northwest, and she forces the turnover there as Narrow loses it out of bounds. That's just presence right there from Malia Samuels.
She knew she was there. It's those careless turnovers that are going to make this game from a close one right now at 13, but now able to get one last possession before the end of this.
Watkins in deep, the kick out. Smith the three, no, and that's how we're going to end this first half.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Rapp trying to attack against Von Oelhoffen, loses the ball. Surrounded by Trojans, out to Curtis. Lefty jump shot won't go, and Iwuchukwu secures the board. The pitch ahead, Von Oelhoffen. Iriafin, nice spin move, uses the left. That's teach tape right there, folks.
Uses her size to her advantage, just lowers the shoulder a little bit, turns in hard, and lays it off the glass and in.
Just pop the tape in, cue the DVD, call it up on YouTube, whatever you want. This is how you play post basketball, says Kiki Iriafin.
Absolutely. It was definitely a great play, and just starting to extend this Trojan lead a little bit more. They're on a 6-0 run right now as more SpongeBob over the loudspeakers, getting the kids back into it. That 6-0 run in the past 3 minutes and 2 seconds, and a 17-3 run in the past 7 minutes.
There's Kaya Ingram at the foul line. The Albuquerque, New Mexico native. Played her first 3 seasons at Cornell, averaged 13 points last year for the Big Red, starting all 26 games for them. And a couple of Ivy League transfers. Remember, in the Ivy League, they didn't get the extra year, right? So if you still wanted to play, you had to leave the Ivy League. And that is what Mia Curtis has done, as well as Kaya Ingram, as in deep as Iwuchukwu.
Von Oelhoffen showing her vision right now. Multiple good passes. She had that one-handed toss the length of the court earlier, and they're just able to find a great skip pass.
Ingram, the blow-by off the window.
So we see a little passion there, yelling afterwards, knowing the and one, and getting to the charity stripe now.
Foul charge to Iwuchukwu, her first personal. Von Oelhoffen and Heckel leave the game. Howell and Watkins return.
Ingram 2 for 2 on the free throw line tonight. They need as many points as they can get to spark this comeback, as we're 2 minutes left in this third quarter of play. And not able to get the and one.
Here's JuJu Watkins. Iriafin, the kick out. Samuels gets the three from the Malia Samuels with the three-pointer from the wing.
Just so patient, waiting there, knows her time's gonna come, knows the ball's gonna, her teammates have her, the teammates have the vision, and just nice and easy, stops, pops, and drains it.
She's now 6 of 12 from 3 on this season. Crossover by Ingram. Curtis has to just throw it up with 1 second left. And nothing doing there. And once again, this USC defense taking Santa Clara all out of what it's trying to do. Goodchild leaves the game along with Ingram. As Grigoropoulos and Narrow return for Santa Clara. Approaching 1 minute left in this third quarter.
Good D there from Santa Clara.
Watkins steps into a three, short. And the rebound will carry out of bounds.
Good D to get a hand on it and tip it past the backcourt, just trying to spark something, and maybe that stop will be what they need to get going.
Curtis uses the Pollard high screen. Here's Pollard being guarded now by Watkins. Throws up the three. That one's short. Skying in for the offensive rebound. Here's Pollard cutting to the basket, flips it up, in and out. Wouldn't stay down. Rough night for her. She's now just 2 of 10 from the field. Here's Pollard, another crack at it. Running the hook won't go. Insomnia for Olivia Pollard here. But Santa Clara staying with it. Pollard a three. Got that one to go. As she puts her arms in the air to say, finally. It's been a game that has been controlled by USC pretty much throughout. Santa Clara showed some resistance in that first half, but the full court pressure of USC has really changed this game around. Here's Iriafin off the feed from Howell. So pretty, the ball didn't even have to touch the ground there, Andrew.
Yeah, you talked about it with our keys to the game, moving fast in transition. I think they've done very well in that, and Santa Clara on the other side trying to slow them down. Maybe not as well. That's why the lead's starting to separate more and more.
SC is led by as much as 26 in this one. JuJu Watkins with 19 points to lead all scores. She's surpassed the 1,000-point mark in her illustrious career. Fastest Trojan to do so. Pollard loses it, trying to pass it. Here's Watkins ahead. Howell, the catch, the finish.
Again, they don't need to dribble. It's just not necessary apparently for them.
Textbook. Timeout Santa Clara.
The two biggest rivalries from USC is UCLA crosstown rivals, and then Notre Dame out in South Bend.
It'll be a nationally televised affair over on NBC. Don't want to miss that one. Von Oelhoffen called for the foul up high against Nero. Rashawn Haylock, Andrew Geisler, along with our fantastic Big Ten Plus crew led by producer Scott Hills and McKenna Artiega, our director. It's been more resistance than the Trojans faced here a couple of nights ago against CSUN. And there was a level of concern from this USC coaching staff about this Broncos squad that put some pressure on you on the offensive end, and especially Olivia Pollard in uniform number 5. But they've done a great job stepping up to the challenge and defending her along with the rest of the Broncos. Here's Pollard. Shot clock at 7. And Von Oelhoffen almost comes up with a steal there. Instead, it's a foul. And it comes with just 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and so it'll reset to 20.
Pollard with 4 turnovers in this game on that last possession for Von Oelhoffen. Went for a jog down the court. She was open on that pop off of the pick play, but just wasn't able to turn and find the ball in time.
And Santa Clara rewarded there after getting the extra time there after the foul. Here's Howell quickly the other way. That won't go. Grigoropoulos with the rebound. And under 8 to play here.
And the great 2 points on the other side as well from that baseline jumper. Had a great opportunity and just tossed it up and made the most of it.
Ingram. And that one sent into the expensive seats.
Yeah, Ingram trying to get a foul call there, off balance, goes with the right hand, see if she can get arm there on on the hack, but all ball.
Avery Howell, the rejection there, the freshman out of Boise, Idaho. Two-time Gatorade Idaho State Player of the Year as Pollard gets the baseline jack. And the deficit for Santa Clara is 23. Watkins fires a three. That's true. JuJu Watkins now with 22. Her third triple of the afternoon.
And Watkins heating up 5 for 6 from her last 6. USC is a team 3 for 4 on their past 4, is starting to heat up.
Kennedy Smith will check back in to replace Howell. Goodchild in to replace Grigor Apulu for Santa Clara. Narrow will inbound it. Watkins to guard the inbound. Narrow looking for Ingram. Couldn't find her. Now finds Pollard. Goodchild, who had a great first half. Been kind of quiet here in the second. And they're going to say last touch there by Santa Clara. The junior transfer from Northwestern, Alana Goodchild. Goodchild's been stuck on 10. She had all 10 of those points in the first half. Much needed 10, and she's kind of kept them in this game.
She has. She's played great this game, especially compared to the last 2. She's been a key part to keeping this game close.
But unable to continue those efforts here in the second half as Iriafin puts it up and in.
Again, the offensive rebounds are something that is just so huge. Rebounds actually between these two teams is relatively close. 30 for USC, only 28 for Santa Clara. They're right next to each other in that. I thought it was a lot more spread out, or at least it was earlier in this game, especially on that offensive side.
Narrow tries to split the D with the pass, but right to Watkins. The pitch ahead. Iriafin running the floor hard. Oh, she couldn't get it. Her momentum took her too far under the basket, unable to get that one to go.
Ran out of room a little too early, a little earlier than she was expecting, and just didn't have any room left.
She was running so fast. Ran out of real estate there, as you mentioned. And there's the bucket there by Ingram is good. She's a nice little player, Kaya Ingram. Averages 13 points per game, and she's right at her average now after that bucket. Watkins will try another three. Back heel, Heckle skying in for the board and the putback.
Not the tallest player, but goes down into the paint, goes down to where the trees are. Speaking of paint, USC 44 points there so far in this game, and Santa Clara only at 12. I think that's been a major story, but off the front iron there, and it just stays at that 12 number.
Yeah, Goodchild, unable to get the layup off the feed from Pollard. Watkins, Iriafin. She made a couple there the other night. Doesn't shoot that one there. Instead finds Heckle. Out to Watkins. Looking for somewhere to go. Marshall calling for it and gets it. Out to Iriafin. Between the circles, knocks down the jumper. The coaching staff was very pleased with her being able to knock down a couple of three-point shots the other night here against CSUN. She had only had 2 in her career.
Becoming a multifaceted threat is absolutely important, as Goodchild misses from 3 there. But if she's able to shoot from 3, that means they're going to have to close out, and that brings up into the opportunity of her going down low and driving.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just opens up a wide range of things for this squad offensively. But prior to coming to SC, she had just 2 threes in her 3 years at Stanford, but made 2 here the other night against CSUN. Just 12 and 4 of 14 shooting. You really got to credit the job of this USC coaching staff and then the execution, of course, of these USC players being able to hold one of the nation's leading scorers.
Yeah, looking at the statistics, you kind of knew what Santa Clara would run through, and that was Pollard. And she's shooting, if my math is correct, 28% right now, and they've done a great job holding her to a few points, only 12, which, I mean, comparatively isn't that much to what she's done in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. She's coming off a career-high 31 at Fresno State. Averaging 26 points per game entering today. But you got to imagine her afternoon will be done here with just over 4 left as Heckle will try a 3. Iwachukwu, the offensive rebound. The kick out, Smith, the opposite corner for 3.
That's something that's so dangerous about this Trojan squad is a lot of people can make threes on the floor. You can't just leave 1 or 2 open. We talked about Area Fenn able to do it, but everybody all over the court.
And here's Smith with the steal. Smith the crossover in the front court. And it's going to be a foul charged there against Ingram. Kennedy Smith with 9 points this afternoon. That steal was her 5th. Ties her season high as she had 5 here against CSUN the other night. Smith going to have a seat. Watkins going to have a seat. Von Oelhoffen going to have a seat as well. So you got to imagine their nights are going to be done. Smith with those 9 points. Looks like this will be the first game in her college career that she doesn't crack double figures. They're going to get hauled for a traveling violation.
It was really the full court press that ended up being the problem for Santa Clara, in my opinion. That's really when the deficit went from a close game, a 13-point game, to now what it is at 32. And they've struggled ever since they implemented that at that first time out.
And it was something that USC needed as well because they were struggling a bit on the offensive end. As Samuels gets the rebound there, so they needed something to kind of kick charge them. As Samuels tries the 3 from the wing, that won't go. The rebound's off to Latu. And so it helped USC as well to kind of get things going for themselves.
Absolutely, that great defense would lead to offense. They've had 18 fast break points this game, not as many as they had previously, but that's still a huge amount, especially for the great defense that they played, being able to score from one end to the other.
So Grigor Apulu will go to the line after that foul. USC tonight, 31 points off turnovers. That's been, really, you look at it, that's been the difference, right? I mean, they lead this one 77-46 now. But being able to cash in those points off turnovers has been key as Heckle with the fancy scoop from New York with love high off the window.
What a great play. Drove down to the left side as a righty. Wanted to stay with the right hand. You're able to see goes up and under the hand. Gets the foul off the top of the glass. And 1. And she converts.
So K9 now with 7 off the bench for USC.
Something that I've noticed, especially from these Trojans and Gottlieb as well, is even with 2 minutes to go, 2:40 to go, and they're up 34 right now, they still have that full court pressure right there. They're trying to send a message to the rest of the league, to Notre Dame, saying, we don't care. We are one of the best teams in the country, and no matter who it is, we're going to keep our foot on the gas.
And that was something that was so impressive the other night. They did not play down to their competition, nor did they take their foot off the gas. And also something you got to keep in mind as well, too, is there's a lot of youngsters on this team. As Howell misses the 3 there. Akunwofu going to get charged for Akunwofu, I beg your pardon, going to get charged there for going over the back. But being able to get a lot of these youngsters some minutes, some game reps is key.
That's huge down the line, especially in the later times of this season, is JuJu gets banged up or whatever injury occurs, because injuries happen. That's part of the game. So having the talent to and having them play, especially in these early games and get reps against teams that aren't like Notre Dame, teams that are a little worse, and being able to get some minutes is absolutely massive.
Aaliyah Gales checking into the game. She had her best night as a Trojan a couple nights ago against CSUN. Brooklyn Shamblin scored her first points in a USC uniform. She's in there. And also Ryan Forestier into the game as well. Forestier with 6 points the other night against CSUN. Here's Shamblin, the local product out of Carpinteria, Oaks Christian High School. Forestier. Akinwafo. Approaching 2 minutes left in this one. Aaliyah Gales definitely took advantage of her minutes the other night. Just 10 minutes of action for Gales. 5 points, 4 steals, 3 assists. Just 3 to shoot, and a turnover. Latu coming back with it the other way against Gales. Misses the layup. Trying to follow, no. Grigoropoulos, another offensive rebound. Here's the kick out and the 3. That one rims off by Harris. And SC will bring it back the other way. 90 seconds left.
That was only their 8th turnover of the night. It's been good to see this team develop, especially with how many turnovers they had in Paris against Ole Miss. Dropping that number, that was their 9th, from up into the 20s, down into single digits now. There's still a minute 24, but dropping that number down is going to help them in the long run.
This is a Santa Clara team that could give some teams some fits in the West Coast Conference. Coming off a 25-win season. Of course, a different look this year with 8 newcomers. But anytime you got a player like Pollard, gives you a chance every single night, and you got to imagine once she gets to conference, she's going to be lighting folks up as Latu with the opportunity for the old school 3-point play. Malia Latu, the transfer from San Francisco out of East Palo Alto. Can't get the old school 3-point play, and there's Akinwafo using all 6'6" of that frame to get that rebound.
We talked about Pollard not having a great night. Still had 12 points. I mean, a lot of players would kill to have 12 points in a game, and I think that'll be good for her, a wake-up call to see against these better teams that maybe she needs a little different prep, maybe she needs to do a little scouting or something along those lines to see how her and her team can develop better and get the ball into her hands in a scoring position more often.
And you're also going up against the number 3 team in the country too.
That's true.
That doesn't help.
No, definitely not. With the trees down low and all the hands up, and the help defense that USC plays as well. I mean, they crash down in. That's something they've done great in their previous games, and they did great as well in this game.
And with the size that USC has, I mean, you got a player in Kennedy Smith at 6'1" on the wing. You have the ability to switch a lot of things, which they were able to do this afternoon, and it really cost Santa Clara some fits. 5-second differential between shot clock and game clock as the crowd rises to its feet here inside Galen Center. Attacking the baseline there is Forestier, fouled hard, and she'll get to the line. Ryan Forestier, 5'11" freshman guard out of Texas. Take a look at the drive here.
Going up hard, not scared for the contact. That's USC's strength. They're a very physical team, is something that if you were to take something big from this team, it would be, from this game specifically, it would be that they're physical. They're not scared to create contact, whether that be defensively or offensively.
So Forestier gets 1 of 2. Shot clock dark. And here's Latu with 2 seconds. They'll try one at the buzzer. That won't go. And that's how we're going to end this one as it goes final. Number 3 USC 81, Santa Clara 50.